Good Packer Nation morning, everybody. We have made it. Arrived about an hour ago. West Central Wisconsin, here we come. Left out about 5:30 last night from Tennessee. Arrived in West Central Wisconsin about an hour ago. And we got here just in time for this to happen. So as we show you this, let me know who you are, where you're coming at from. But check this out, folks. This is what we arrived to see just as we pulled into town. Hector is here, Maurice is here, and saying hi to all the cheeseheads out there. But yeah, it just started coming down, a beautiful flurry. Laying down about an inch by now and supposed to quit here pretty soon, which will probably be good because we've got more traveling to do. We got to get over to Lambeau Field. Corey says thunderstorms in Georgia. Oh man, this is so much prettier. In the spring, I love thunderstorms, but you can't beat this as far as I'm concerned right now. Now, maybe come May, when it's still April and May, when it's still going down, you don't feel the same. But look at the wind take that nice, dry, cold snow off the power lines and the trees, rather than where I'm from, where usually you get a cold front that hits a warm, humid Gulf front, and you get this real heavy snow that's actually pretty dangerous and destructive down there in Tennessee. So I appreciate this snow. It is beautiful out there. It is a winter wonderland. But let's talk about the Packers. I see Samantha is here, Thomas is here, Marcus is here, Patrick and LB, and Sconnelly Connolly says miss the snow. It is truly beautiful right now. Of course, if you're trying to travel, that does make things a little bit difficult from time to time. Virginia is here. Maurice says, let's make Packers snowmen. That's right. Get out the green and yellow food coloring. It's time to go to work. This might be a little dry right now, but it was warm underneath because the temperatures have not been that high, and it might turn into some really good packing snow. Good for a snowball fight for all of the Packer fans to rain down on the Seattle Seahawks. Who out there wants to get a win against the Seattle Seahawks come Sunday? I can't wait. We are going to the game. We have got to do whatever it takes to get it done. We have to have this win. Now, how do we do that? That's the big question, because everybody who saw the Seahawks play Sunday night, holy smokes. However, it's a little bit of a short week for them. The Packers definitely, the question that was asked of them more than I think any other question was, does this team need to take another step forward to continue after they're on a 2-game winning streak, but just imagine what it would say about the Packers right now if they made it 3 against the Seattle Seahawks. A big, big difference. And the question kept being asked, do they have to take a step up? And all of that question was constantly just deflected. Well, we don't see it that way. We just focus on ourselves. Let me answer it for them. Yes, you have to take a step up if you're going to beat the Seattle Seahawks. Trust me on that one. However, this Packer offense is continuing to improve. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers for a minute here, because Aaron Rodgers, we said against the Eagles, this was going to be Aaron Rodgers' game. This basically looks like it is going to be Aaron Rodgers' team from here on out. And we can't have, like we did against the Texans, we can't be stalling out for 2 quarters in this game of offense. Against the Eagles, we didn't score that highly, but we kept the ball possession. And we scored in metered doses all the way through and finished strong with 14 in the 4th quarter. That made all the difference in the world of how you look at that game. Now we come against a tougher defense in the Texans, even though they were missing Jadeveon Clowney. And we had a couple quarters where we stalled out again. So which offense are we going to bring? Can we play 4 quarters of solid offensive football against a very good defense? I don't think the Packers have proved that they can do that yet this year. Does anybody out there have a heart for me that now would be a great time for the Packers to show that they can play 4 quarters of great offense, and Aaron Rodgers can carry this team for 4 quarters, and we can score some points all the way down the line? We are going to need to play the possession game. Otherwise, guess what this is going to be? This is going to be a big-time shootout. because we know the Seahawks are primed to score coming off a 40-burger. The Packers, on the other hand, have not broken 30. The last thing we want is a shootout, and neither team wants to get into a shootout. Reason being, it's Lambeau Field. Did you see what the weather is doing outside? It might be the same thing in Green Bay on Sunday, and the last thing these teams want to do is have to throw the ball a lot and throw the ball for big yardage. Now, Aaron Rodgers is going to need to have that sort of possession passing game that we saw against the Eagles. Should be very effective, or as effective as you can get against a great Seattle Seahawks defense, one that will, however, be missing Earl Thomas. So add to that one of the topics I want to talk about today, and that is this. I'll ask you guys this question. My question is, who has earned more reps? I've got 3 guys in mind that have earned more reps. It starts, number 1, with Dean Lowry. Dean Lowry, in the game against the Texans, earned more reps. I want to see him out on the field. Coach McCarthy said that they had gotten him out more because he had done some things before. He showed it with the big-time sack, his first as a rookie at Lambeau. He earned more reps. How about Christine Michael? Did he not earn more reps? And would that not be awesome to see a Packer running offense with Christine Michael and Aaron Ripkowski as a lead blocker, or the quick hit to Ripkowski up the middle, and add to that Ty Montgomery, who had a nice running game, and maybe once in a while even sprinkle in James Starks in third down for pass pro only, and maybe to squirt out of the backfield if we need a little dump-off pass. This offense could play that possession game that I truly think we need. I think this game smacks of turning into a shootout with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers' high-powered offense, and then Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks with Jimmy Graham out there. They've got and Rawls, they've got the tools to turn this into a shootout. I don't think that's what we want. I think we play our best offense right now when we get the ball out quick. Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out quick. We play, and that way we can still pass the ball, but we can still play a possession game. I think it's going to be absolutely crucial if we're going to want to get a win, because the other thing that possession game does, that's chucking the ball for 40 yards like we saw against the Texans from time to time, even though the one with Jared Cook I thought was a really good play because we had a great matchup there. Wish it would have been a touchdown, but it wasn't. But when we're chucking the ball down the field, as if the quicker we score, and yes, we want to score regardless, but the quicker we score, the quicker Seattle's offense is back out on the field. And our defense, we saw what happens when our defense begins to take too many reps, just like early in the season. Our offense was forcing it then. If our defense starts to get gassed, we are still very thin. But hopefully this Packers defense can continue to get healthy. Clay Matthews, McCarthy said he's hopeful that he will be better this week than he was against the Texans. Let's hope that we can pull that off, because it's going to be extremely important. I see we got a troll on here. I see it mentioned. I didn't see any of the... Let's see what we got. I'm going to check this out while we're... Hawks all the way by 17. Well, that's not really... I mean, that's just... He's picking. That's... Patrick, we disagree with you. We are going to take you guys down. You guys are going to come to Lambeau, get spanked, and go home with your tail between your legs. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe there's some ugly stuff on here. But if somebody gets on here and wants to... Jared, 3 coffees, 2 sugars. Cheers, mate. Awesome. All right, but yeah, this is we are going to need to control the time of possession in this game, which includes, and also, field position. We have seen when we struggle with field position, when we struggle with time of possession, this team struggles to win ball games. And you look at the Seattle Seahawks special teams, a much different beast than we ran into against the Houston Texans. So we'll see what happens with that. Of course, on the defensive side, we were talking about the defensive side of the ball. How about Julius Peppers, now 5th all-time sack leader? What an absolutely... And he said, this week, he said in his locker room interview, it's an honor, and was very respectful of that. I love Julius Peppers because he's so humble, but then he just does all of his talking out on the field because he is not a talker, but he's a perennial team captain. He's a leader. We have two of those, one on offense in Aaron Rodgers, one on defense in Julius Peppers. They're not big talkers. They're not rah-rah guys like a Mike Daniels, etc., which is great. But they're just leaders by example, and they do a little bit of talking when they need to. They will talk to somebody, but it's not that sort of building up the emotion. Love Julius Peppers. Congratulations to him. I am so glad he is a Green Bay Packer right now, and he is turning it on. I predicted this. I said, you watch Julius Peppers. They're going to limit his reps, but when it comes down to, I was talking about playoffs at the time, but we know right now every single game basically is a playoff after, especially Detroit beating the Saints this week. The Saints couldn't throw us a bone, so every single game is a playoff game, and this game against the Seattle Seahawks, guys, you know it is going to be rocking at Lambeau. It will be a playoff atmosphere. And having Julius Peppers on the field, getting more reps is going to be important, especially now with the injury to Nick Perry, and we'll see how that shakes out. Mike McCarthy is wily, folks. If you haven't noticed, he always schedules his meetings with the medical staff right after his interview with the press. Now, I will tell you, it bugs me so much. This is not because Mike McCarthy doesn't want the press to know what's going on with his team. It's not because he doesn't want Packer Nation to know what's going on injury-wise with his team. It's because he doesn't want everybody else to know what's going on injury-wise with his team. It's really a smart move, and he never shows his hand on that, but I guarantee he plans that meticulously. There's one thing Mike McCarthy is. He is a meticulous planner, and I swear he does it every time and gives us no information ever. So Vanessa is saying hope for more snow. If you're out there, give me a thumbs up right now. If you would just not love for this game against the Seahawks to look exactly like what's outside my door right now that I showed you at the beginning of the show, it would be freaking awesome. Now, that said, it would be extremely important. You watch now. Our running game has turned into somewhat of a three-headed monster, and with the glimpse that we have of Christine Michael, if we can go out there and get that and replace right now, Christine Michael, if Christine Michael can go out and replace James Starks, and we will have a three-headed monster. We will have Aaron Ripkowski, who is my third person. I forgot to mention my third person who earned more reps. Anybody else out there got some love for Aaron Ripkowski and say that he earned some more reps? He's one of the three-headed monster. Christine Michael, I think, showed that he can be that. He didn't get as many reps as McCarthy was hoping to get him in. But that's good because he didn't show his hand against the Seahawks. And guess what? Guess what, Kristen? Who dumped you, man? The Seattle Seahawks. He is going to be lit up and on fire when he takes the field against the Seahawks. That can be a problem if there's snow. You got to watch your cutting, and you got to slow it down a little bit in the snow. But I hope after last week's game, the Packers team is more ready for it than the Seattle Seahawks. And thirdly, of course, we talking about Ty Montgomery. Man, I am loving what this guy can do. He just does it all. The guy is shaking up the world. Jonah was saying fantasy leagues do not know what to do with Ty Montgomery. They don't know what to call him. However, he's scoring from whatever position you put him in at this point. Probably less as a wide receiver now, but for crying out loud, you have got to appreciate what Ty Montgomery has done for our offense. But this, of course, we all know there is no, and we had the troll on earlier saying Seahawks by 17. They are riding a confidence wave. They are a playoff team for several years now. I don't call them perennial because the Packers and the Patriots are perennial, and the Packers and the Packers have been winning it since like 1919 to 1920. So whatever. If he jumps on and trolls me, that's we'll lay down the smack if we need to on that historical note. However, right now they're playing great football. They had a great game. A little bit of a short week, a little bit of a shortened schedule. I don't think going to be really an issue. This is a very professional team. they are also one of those teams that one of their guys goes down, they find a way to fill that slot, and a lot of times that whatever warm body they put in that position plays quite well. They're a well-coached team, and like I mentioned before, like Jonas said, every time we play them, something goofy seems to go in their favor, which I don't want to see in this game. However, who knows? So, Brent says, cuss the troll. Let's see. I'm going to check here. Hey, Garth is here. Cigar Soldier is on. My boy who hooked me up with tickets. Hey, everybody out there right now, if you're on there, hover that button, your thumb over that love button and give a little love to Garth Buchenhagen right now. My buddy, this is the dude last week I told you he and I climbed up the scaffolding and pushed the wrestling dummy off. If you didn't hear that story, go back and catch the video. I'm expecting to be put in handcuffs because I am now back in my hometown at any minute. So this video blog could be cut short at any time. Thank you for giving Garth the love because I truly appreciate it, buddy. I can't wait to see you. I am stoked. We got to go out there and find a way to win this freaking game, man. So yeah, I hope you brought your long johns, he's saying. We were struggling to find proper Wisconsin attire. Which is just a poor showing. We've been living way too long where it doesn't snow this way. So, but we will be ready. And even if we're not, I know it will be fodder for you to give us crap for years to come, dude. So yeah, looking forward to it. Can't wait to get out there. In the meantime, also in the news, guys, Thursday afternoon, there will be a special live show. I'm going to be talking with Wayne Larrivee, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, man. I am stoked. But he has a new book out. I showed it to you this past week, or Monday, actually. I think I showed it to you. If These Walls Could Talk. And you gotta know that Wayne Larrivee has got some really interesting stories from behind the scenes. We're gonna talk with him, let him just explain his book, what he's shooting for, and then of course I'm gonna pick his brain for what the Packers are gonna need to do to beat the Seattle Seahawks. So we are looking forward to a great week. I can't tell you how excited I am to be back. It is a white winter wonderland out there, and I can't wait for this Packers game coming up, and the interview with Wayne is going to be really special too. Can't wait to do that. Guys, well, I will let you go. I am going to get some sleep because I have been driving for like 15 hours, and but I wanted to get on and catch up with you guys, and I made it in time. Just as the snow came. So all of you have a fantastic day. It's Tuesday, tomorrow's Wednesday, and pretty soon we'll be rolling right into that big Packer weekend. I appreciate every last one of you for getting on today. Thank you so much for joining the show, and I will catch up with you again tomorrow. Same Pack time, same Pack place. Have a good one. Go Pack.